Good morning, Gamescom. Today is the first day for non-trade partners to sort of hang out and see all the stuff that Gamescom has to offer. It's about 8 a.m. local time, 2 hours before it actually opens up for everyone, yet you can see there's a lot of people already trickling in, including me. I had to come here today as a private visitor myself because the whole arrangement for me to come here was a little bit last notice, and I didn't expect I was going to come here. So I didn't apply for the press pass, and you can't apply for those pretty much 14 days before the event. So I'm pretty much stuck as a public citizen, but I'll still enjoy it. I'll be able to see as much as I can, hopefully talk to a lot of interesting people, and play Super Mario Odyssey. Play games. Yeah. So we're just gonna go through security and continue recording when some interesting stuff actually starts happening. So I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm in line currently for Super Mario Odyssey. I just wanted to point out one thing. Just look at this line. It's behind me, wraps around twice, and then I want to compare it to Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle line. quite a big difference. Alrighty, I just left Gamescom about 10 minutes ago. I got to try out a couple things. Mainly, the big thing I got to try out was Super Mario Odyssey. I'll talk about that in a bit, but for now, I got food, and you can all be proud of me. I finally got German food in Germany. This is called, I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong, there's no doubt I will. Called Zigunerwurst or something? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to eat this and I'll talk about more about Gamescom in the next segment. That was the greatest sausage I've had in my life, I think. It was really good. I didn't know what paprika sauce was. Like, I know what paprika is, but I never had paprika sauce, which apparently was what the sausage was covered in. It was really just so good. Man, I gotta figure out how to make that because it was just everything about that dish was so good. The fries were really good too. They were nice and salty. It was just great. Anyway, ran into some problems though while I was eating dinner. Other than watching a cute dog dance. So yesterday I ate at a place next to it, right? Like literally next door to that restaurant that I got this sausage from. And they took credit card, right? And every time I've been in Germany, I go to a restaurant, I'll ask them, hey, do you take this card? Well, literally every place have said yes. We take this card. Yes, you can use this card to pay. So I just kind of thought, oh, it must be okay. It seems like everywhere here uses cards, especially in this tourist area. So I didn't even ask this time, and I got the food and I ate it. Got 2 Cokes, again, not free refill, but I got 2 anyway because they don't give you much. Anyway, they by the time it was time to pay the bill, I pulled out my card as usual, and they're like, oh, sorry, we don't take card. I'm like, is there an ATM nearby? And she was like, yes, right over there. And I was like, can I leave my stuff here or something? Because I didn't want her to think I was going to ditch, right? The ATM wasn't too close. It was a little far. I was like, can I leave my bag here or something? Because I felt like they would think I was stealing the food I ate, and that was making me very like, oh god, this is awkward. Anyway, the issue was I didn't really have an ATM card to use. I had my Amex, and I was like, okay, I know I can use Amex with this ATM. I tried it. They asked for a PIN number, and I didn't have a PIN number. I never used Amex to get cash out of an ATM. I never even use ATMs. I never use cash. So I had to call up the company and activate a freaking PIN code for this stupid cash advance stuff. And it was automated voice originally. It was like, okay, your PIN has been sent in the mail. It'll arrive in 5 to 10 days. I'm like, I need cash now. I don't need much. I just need enough to pay for this freaking food. They're waiting for me. And like 20 minutes later, after talking to a representative, I finally could get somewhere and get some cash. And I only got like 20 euros out of the machine, and I paid for my meal. And yeah, that was stressful, man. Like, I just want to eat. I just want to pay. I don't want people to think I'm some sort of thief, but yeah, I couldn't leave my bag there obviously because the people were like, "Oh no, there's thieves around here." I'm like, "Oh great, that's all I need to know now is there's thieves in this area." But no, I mean I was just I got that whole settled, but then I got like some euros left over, and I bought a couple of Cokes because if you buy them from like a little gift shop or something, it's a lot cheaper. Except it's kind of funny because I look at the back here, and you can see it says 2 portion. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it basically means 2 servings per this one bottle, right? You see this bottle? This is literally, what is this? What is this? Half a liter? This is literally what Americans drink as one serving. They bring this and drink it with them. You won't see 2 servings on the American labels for these mini Coke bottles. Anyway, I should stop dilly dallying, but you guys are here for me to talk about Gamescom, right? So first thing I did, ran in there, ran straight to the Nintendo booth, because I knew very well if I don't go there now, I'll probably not be able to play the Super Mario Odyssey demo. They had booths set up everywhere. They had the docked booths, which you play on a big screen, or in the undocked booths. For me, when I play Switch, other than when I'm streaming, of course, I actually do like playing undocked. I like laying in my bed and playing the Switch, in portable mode. But I felt like when I was there, I should have been able to choose. But I ended up getting the undocked mode, which is fine. It was great. It ran very nice. I got to play probably about 10 minutes. I wish I could play longer. It was so good though. The 10 minutes I spent is so clearly inspired back to the Super Mario 64 way of the game. It works very well. The open world kind of feel. In the demo, you could choose either to play New Donk City, which is, you've probably seen trailers. It's like the New York-esque city with Pauline and stuff, and that was neat. But I decided I wanted for me, the desert area looked a lot more interesting. And the demo starts, it puts you next to this it's kind of like an airport kind of thing, and the best way to explain this game is, instead of having one overworld like Mario 64, the one overworld is the Peach's castle, right? You jump in the paintings and that takes you to levels. Well, each land is kind of like that, except there's multiple overworlds, and they're all connected by a transportation system, which would be sort of it was like an airport kind of. That's what I could say. And you can go back into the airport right when you spawn in this desert land, and you can travel to the other New Donk City if you so choose. And probably, obviously there will be more destinations as it goes on. Anyway, you just start there, and you walk into a desert Mexico-esque area, and the graphics are wonderful. There's ice all over the desert, and that especially, I really love the ice textures and the sand. The sand and ice textures are just so good. I don't know it just looks really nice. It's weird to talk about, right? It's kind of like the water thing. People will be like, "Oh, look at that water texture. Oh, it's so good." Well, I felt that way about the ice and the sand. Everything was great, and it was so colorful. This demo did not teach you anything. It just threw you in, which is great. I'm glad, because I would have been a waste of time if I had to play a stupid tutorial or something. Anyway, in the land, they have little tasks. I guess they're mini quests or whatever, but they're not given to you like a quest. They're just, you talk to the NPC or you listen to what the NPC says. For example, in New Donk City, they had these few people holding a jump rope, and doing the jump rope motion, and the guy behind them was like, "Oh man, I wish I could hit 30 in a row." And basically, if you hit 30 in a row, you get coins for that area, or a moon, or whatever item that the game gives you. And they have a lot of these little tasks all over this overworld. But I didn't spend much time doing that. I just went in the desert land. I just went to the first sort of I guess in this stance, kind of jumping into the first painting. And in these these levels, I guess you can call them, they have multiple moons, which are kind of like the stars. They're basically the stars from Mario 64, except they're moons this time. And you can get them by doing multiple tasks, like collecting a certain amount of coins. You can jump on there's destructible stuff in the game, like boxes, crates. And if you break a certain crate that looks a little bit different than the others, you might unlock a moon that'll move somewhere else in the map, and you have to take control of this thing. It's kind of like binoculars, but it shoots up in the air, and you can sort of look around while your hat, which possesses it, you can look around everywhere and decide, okay, this is how I get to this moon. This is how I get to it. This is how I grab that one. In the time I've had, I was able to get 3 moons in the first level itself. And after I got the 3 moons, it seems to be like it gets to a point where it tells you, okay, you're in the next level, and it's in that sense is really interesting. I haven't really figured out if whether like it seems like it's a little what's the word? Kind of linear, I guess, in that sense. I'm not sure if I missed any moons going back or whatever, or I'm not sure how that works. I didn't have enough time to figure that out. But the graphics are great. The gameplay is spectacular. The Goombas, I don't know, the Goombas in the game are even like they get better each game. I feel like each 3D Mario, the Goombas look better, and they act sillier in each one. I love the Goombas. And then there was this segment, a neat little mechanic where you jump into a pipe that's into a wall, then it turns into like a 8-bit version of yourself, and you play an 8-bit. That was actually very challenging because you kind of have your mindset like, oh, you're playing a 3D game, then you jump into these. It's kind of like how they what's the game? Link Between Worlds, Legend of Zelda on the 3DS. It's very similar how that works. And I felt that the 2D platforming in this 3D, like one example was it was going around a circle spire, so you can't even see what's ahead of you because it goes around, right? So they'll launch like rockets or bullet bills at you, and you can't see it. You have to kind of like pace yourself and slow down and crouch and stuff, and just kind of learn the timing. You will. Basically, I've seen everyone that got to that part, they died at least once because they had to learn that platforming part before they can get past it. But once the transition to 2D and 3D is so good, it's really unbelievable how like instant it is. Like at the end of the platforming, there will be like this area where it's not blocked by any barriers or anything, and you just jump, and Mario jumps out from that and turns back to 3D form. And it's really crazy. I can't wait to see more of that. It was really fun. There was other stuff that was interesting, like the first time you go into the desert world, overworld, the game actually has like these giant footprints and little footprints, and it's like the hat tells you, oh look, the couple, they were here basically, which is Bowser and Peach, obviously. And it just needs to have actual like you're on the trail of them. You're not being told where Bowser or wherever it is. It's just like you see the footprints in the sand and stuff like that. But it's definitely looking to be a very good game. I'm so glad they're going back to the Mario 64 way of games. Like I liked what was it, Mario 3D World, Super Mario 3D World on Wii U. I liked it, but by the end of it, I felt like there was so much more missing. But I feel like this game will really have a long, replay value in a way, and it was fun. It was very fun. I can't wait for it to come out. Anyway, other stuff like I just kind of after that things after I was doing it took me about an hour and a half to wait in line, despite running over there. It took an hour and a half to wait in line to play this game, and by the time that was over, you could tell. So this event was sold out for the whole week. It was sold out yesterday. Everything was sold out yesterday. There were a lot of people of different ages all here, and the lines everywhere were insane. Just so many people. Like, I really wish I knew I was coming here earlier, so I could have got that press pass, because I could have came yesterday, and I would have been able to do more. But the event was huge, large scale. Some of the areas, like one that actually stood out to me a lot was the EA. They had like pretty much their own building, and they had just giant models of different things. Like they had the Star Wars TIE Fighter and like X-Wing next to their Battlefront 2 play area, and had music throughout their entire building, and it matched so well with like the lighting and everything. Another thing they had there was HTC Vive actually had demos of Fallout 4 VR there. And I didn't have time. I had to get out of there because it was it was honestly so incredibly busy. Like people definitely knew it was gonna be busy, and they brought chairs, and like I even saw sleeping bags so people can just like literally lay in these lines to try out these games. But for me, I got to just look around, walk around, look at the shop. I checked out the Twitch booth, which was awesome. They had a lot of interesting things at the Twitch booth. Um, Honestly, all the booths were very just incredible. They had other stuff they had for VR related things was the developers of a popular indie game, Sirento VR. They had the Singaporean developer booth, and they were part of that. And I got to see someone trying that, and it was pretty cool, just to see like games I know, like these small indie games, right? Games I know for VR. They're at this event getting people to try VR, and a lot of these people are trying VR for the first time, and it's fun to watch reactions and watch how they learn how to use the motion controls and stuff. That's the best part of VR, is watching new people kind of get the hang of it. Um, Other than that, I just they had so many games there. It was unbelievable. Like it was definitely the biggest convention I've ever been to in my life. Definitely. Like anything I've done, any events I've done before this seemed tiny compared to this place. Especially and another thing I want to mention is the venue it was at was like it was like a maze. I could not figure out where I was, where anything, what building was what. It was a ton of it was tons of buildings, and you had to take certain ways. Like there were some paths you couldn't take because that was like a business area or a press only area, so you had to take the detour path. And oh my god, it was unbelievable. They had a food court there. I would not I the line for the food court like stands, like you get a burger for like $10 and it didn't even look like a good burger, and the line was huge. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go eat at somewhere else outside of this place. This is just insane. The entire place was just so packed, shoulder to shoulder for most of the place. Felt like I was in a subway, the metro in China again. That's what it felt like for most of the areas. The lines were too long. Another line that was very long, and I'm kind of glad. I didn't think this game would have this much interest as it did, but Sea of Thieves, you could tell even Sea of Thieves people didn't think that they'd have much interest. Like they didn't have their queue at all set up right. It was all over the place, and they had just literally people holding up the signs just to try to organize it a bit better, but it ended up blocking a lot of the path that people had to walk through. And that was that. I'm excited for that game too, Sea of Thieves. I really wish I could have tried it, but with me, I can't stand being around. Like it's intense for me. I get exhausted. I feel socially exhausted when there's that many people around, and it's a shame. But I was hungry. There's people everywhere. I just wanna just relax a bit. Anyway, I gotta do some stuff. Anyway, get ready for my flight tomorrow. I fly out morning tomorrow, so I had to make sure I got this video out, talked about what I wanted to talk about, and make sure I'm packed and don't leave anything ever. That's my biggest fear, is leaving something important in another country. It's terrifying to me. Other than that, I don't think there's anything left to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this little series. I know it's very different what I usually do on this channel. I usually don't like to be so personal and do vlogs on my channel because it's just a little weird, but I feel like this was very fun. Fun video series to do. I hope you liked it. I hope I can do more stuff like this because I've kind of realized showing this that showing this these experiences, the way I react to these experiences, these real life things, is the best way people can realize, hey, this guy is a so-called YouTuber or content creator, but this is how he actually is in real life. He's just another guy, just doing the things, you know. People put YouTubers on a weird pedestal, especially younger people. They put YouTubers on a really weird pedestal, and it's always so strange to me, because you know, who am I? I'm just Brad. I'm just a guy who just does videos. So that's it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this series, and I'll catch you guys for whenever I do another vlog series, probably in China. Anyway, bye.